Hello, my sewing friends. I'm Jen, and I have some fall plans.
Woohoo!
Autumn plans for my wardrobe this fall. First of all, in the place where I live, it's very tropical. So it's summer all year long. So for us, this does not involve jackets and jeans and boots and sweaters. I wish. That's the one thing, only the one thing that I miss from living up north. So for us down here, it's more a change of color. So we can still wear our tank tops and our shorts, little sundresses, but we shift into more of the fall colors. So that's what I'm doing. So that's why I also have a lot of plans here for things that I'm excited about because I'm using only patterns from my stash, only fabric from my stash, if I can get away with it. In some cases, it's yardage. I don't have enough yardage of some things, but we're going to work with it. Okay, I'm going to start with, I love this dress, Butterick 6191. This is from 1992. It is stunning. The only reason I haven't made it yet is that it has dolman sleeves, but I think I've got a way around that. It is uncut for a thrifted pattern. That's amazing. It's sizes 12, 14, 16. It takes 5 yards of 45-inch fabric. That's a lot. That's not an ungodly amount, but it's a lot of fabric. It takes 4.5 yards of 60-inch fabric. I essentially want to copy the navy dress here. I think it's so pretty with the contrast collar and the cuffs. This calls for lightweight denim, linen, broadcloth, things of that weight. I could use this. This is a cotton twill. It does also, does it have lycra? Well, you know what? I thought it did, but I don't think it does. So it's cotton, it's 60 wide, and it's 2 7/8, so almost 3 yards. I don't know. This is calling for 4.5. I don't think this is going to work, but this at least is an approximation of what I want. So I can keep this in mind for that. I probably am going to have to buy fabric for this. There's just no way around it. And I went to Hobby Lobby yesterday and there's nothing there. So have to buy fabric for that one. But that is my first choice for the thing I want to do first. Next up, I've got Simplicity 8057, another thrifted pattern. And I had this out to make a different sleeve from it. And I worked with it and worked with it. And I just didn't like it. And I couldn't find the envelope that I file with all the insides of the pattern in it. I looked and I thought, oh man, that's lost. And so I thought, maybe I can find it on eBay. Didn't need to. Looked in my project bags and here it is. And I've even cut a muslin from the bodice. I just think that's hilarious. So I can try the bodice. I can use it as lining if I want. I don't think I would do that. But let's get back to the pattern. It is from 1992. It's uncut, yay. And it takes 3 7/8 of 45-inch fabric, 3 1/8 of 60-inch fabric. Speak words. I have this batik. It is sunflowers and it is navy. I'm kind of going for the navy this season and not black, which sometimes I do. Okay, this I have 5 7/8 yards of, so almost 6 yards. I thrifted this fabric, and I remember when I got it, I thought, man, that's a lot of fabric. It is 45 inches wide. It is a batik. Plenty of fabric here to do this. So I'm going to do this. And again, dolman sleeve, which is why I haven't made it up to this point, but I just think it's going to be really pretty. I also don't know if I can wear these colors. Another reason why I had set this aside, but I'm going to go for it. You know what? I like it. I'm going to go for it. So that is number 2 on the list. Number 3 on the list is McCall's 8649, another thrifted pattern that I just love. I love the lines of this because of the princess seams and the dropped shoulder and the way the back is essentially a shirt dress with a yoke and princess seams. So I love that. This is from 1997. It is uncut. Yet again, man, I just lucked out with that, didn't I? 45 inches wide, takes 3 3/4 yards of fabric. for 60 wide fabric, it takes 2 7/8 of a yard. So essentially 3 yards. Well, okay, two things about this pattern. I don't like the empire waist, so I would lengthen that. And the length of the skirt is probably way long because, you know, when you get the pattern pieces out, you hold them up. This length skirt is probably going to hit my ankles. So I have some wiggle room there with regard to that. So that's why I'm thinking, and in fact, in a lot of these cases where I have an older pattern from the 90s, they're long. They're really long. So there is some amount of wiggle room that you have with a little bit less fabric. I have this ditzy print. I found this up in Atlanta. I have 2 3/4 of a yard, and it's 60 wide, 100% cotton or a cotton poly. It's probably a cotton poly. I don't know. It's got a little slicker feel than just cotton. Anyway, I think this is going to work. I think this is going to work well. If I were not going to do a ditzy print, I would do a solid, but I like this. And fallish colors, and I think, you know, I'm kind of past the whole, is it in my color palette? I like it. That's why I bought it. So I'm going to try it out of this and see how that works. Then I have New Look 6889. This is actually still on the Simplicity website, so you can find it. That's true of a lot of New Look patterns. I would want to make View B, which is very simple. And to be honest, I look at this dress and I think my BFF Trish could make this in half an hour in her sleep. She's so fast with this kind of a dress. So I have this fabric. It is 45 wide, 2.5 yards. This, like I say, is current, and I forget, I think it takes 2.5 yards. So I have exactly that. And this fabric is some that I got up in Virginia, where the tip of Virginia meets North Carolina. And I forget the name of the place, but it's largely quilting fabrics. They have some other fabrics. But anyway, this is little sewing machines. And I thought, you know, if you're going to make something out of this, it needs to be a craft, a quilt, or a dress like this. So this would be a fun little dress to just throw on and wear around the house. It's a little house dress. Those are my plans. But I have more plans because I think that's pretty ambitious right there. With my fall coming up in, I don't think I'm traveling in October, but I am in November quite a bit. So if I can get those done, then I will start on these. First up is Simplicity 9295. This also is still on the Simplicity website. So it's from, I don't know, some year. It is a Gertie pattern, and my BFF Trish makes this, and she's made it several times, and it's so cute on her. Now, to look at the pattern, I would not think that, but I think I would like to make the one, they all have a little color, but one has puff sleeves, and I think that's really cute. It's the gingham one on the front of the pattern. This takes 2.5 yards, pretty sure, and it's a size 14, and I think this came from Trish. This is Frogs. It's cotton, but it's a very soft quilting cotton. It's hard to tell sometimes with these designer cottons. I'm sure this is a designer because it came from the sewing studio in Maitland, Florida, but she gave it to me as a gift. I have 1 7/8 here. If I really looked at this pattern, I might see that it's less than what I think it is, but when I looked at it, it was enough. So I looked in my stash for something to go with this, and all I could think of was jeans. So I'll just go with it. Just jeans is fine. I also have a couple of pairs of navy capris, so I could wear those. So I just think that's going to be nice. And pattern that Trish uses and suggested with fabric that Trish gave me. And next up, I have Simplicity 8582. This is from 1988. It was thrifted. It's sizes 12 to 18, and it is uncut. Cannot believe that I found these uncut patterns, and they're falling apart. I mean, they're clearly thrifted. It calls for 2 7/8 of 45-inch fabric, so 3, and then 2 1/4 yards of 60-inch fabric. Well, I have this cotton. I don't know where it came from, but it is 2 3/8. It's 45 wide, and I don't know. It might work. What I see here is fall colors. I do see floral stuff, or I see, maybe a spring summer for the right color. If you've had your colors done and these are your colors, that might work. But for me, I see fall colors. So I'm going with it. So for this little dress, once again, little dress to throw on and be around the house in. I have a lot of those. I'm bored with all of them. So this is a good choice for that. And 2 7/8. Once again, with the length on these, I don't know. I'll lay it out. If I can get it out of it, I will work with it. If not, I'll go back to my stash and see if I have something that's 2 7/8 or 3 or close. So I like this one. And then last up, I have Simplicity 9104. This is from 2020. Sizes 6 to 14. It is a vintage reprint, and it takes 2 3/4 of 45-inch fabric and 2 yards of 60-inch fabric. Well, I have 2.5 of 45, so I'm splitting the difference. I don't know with this one, because this kind of a dress tends to have pieces that are long, like you have a long side front and a long front, if they're princess seamed. This is not, which is why I think it might work. I don't know. It's going to take some creative Tetrising, I think. I like View D. And the thing about this is that it's not a true princess seam. It is a dart that comes up from the hem, and it comes up to the bust line, and then you've got a bust line dart. And in the back, you have fisheye darts. Well, I really like the collar on View D. So I'm going to go for that one. And once again, if I can get it out of this fabric came from my local quilt shop where I bought my sewing machine. And it's just, I don't know, it's some designer. Apologies to the designer. I don't know. But, it's pretty. So, and it's dark, and it says to me, not really summer, but I don't know, I don't know that it says fall to me, but it says darker. So I'm going with a darker palette. So we'll see. I don't know. I'll lay it out, and as with all of these, I will, see. 2 more things that I want to tell you about. They are not plans as such, but I have McCall's 2502. It is from 1996. And I really like this. I like this view because I like the way that the bodice, the arm, the whole shoulder thing comes in a little bit. I love the shawl collar. I love the skirt, the way it flares out. It's like a circle skirt, but it's not. And anyway, so it's a size 10. That is not going to work. If only. It has been many years since I was a size 10. I think I may already have ordered this online, but I could only get a size 12. So the thing is, I thought surely there is a tutorial on YouTube that shows you how to make things bigger. Surely there is, how to grade it up. And there is, from someone that I love to watch, Catherine from Catherine Sews. She went to design school. So she has a tutorial on how to do it. She has 2 tutorials, actually. One is for patterns that are on multi-size, and that makes it way easier. That's the shortcut method. This is going to take the longer method because it's only one size. So this is something I've never done. So it's a big challenge, and I think it's going to be a good one. So I'm interested to see if I can maybe make it work. I have no plans for fabric for it. It takes a lot of fabric, as I recall. View B takes almost 4 yards, 3 3/4 or 3 1/4. So 3 3/4 of 45-inch fabric, 3 1/4 for 60-inch fabric. It's not a huge amount of fabric, but it's not a little amount of fabric. It's not 2.5 yards. So I'll work with that. And for the last thing, that's not the last plan, but something else I want to do. I have a shower curtain here. It is gorgeous, and it's thrifted. Shower curtains are 72 inches by 72 inches for the most part. And this is kind of like the shower curtain dress that I made, where you have the way that they hang, actually, it often will have a pattern that comes up from the bottom and just does one thing, or it's got something that comes down from the top, a pattern. And I mean, a printed pattern on the fabric. And this has this gorgeous kind of a taupey green, like a khaki green. And it's just, I think it's just so pretty. You can kind of see. So I was thinking a skirt, but I don't know. It's a border print essentially. And so I want to work with it somehow, but I need to think about it some more because I don't know how I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I have no real solid ideas about it. If you do, let me know. I think it would make a pretty skirt, it would make a pretty dress. You know, you could do all kinds of things with that in terms of like a shift dress. A shift dress would be perfect because you wouldn't break up that pattern. But yeah. Okay. So those are all my plans for autumn or fall, whichever you like. 2025s. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've made any of these patterns because I love it when you tell me that you have. And oh, I made that back in high school, you know, things like that. So, okay. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.